Welcome everyone to the Visa Innovation Program Demo Day. I'm Maria Krivou, Senior Editor at Fortune Greece Manager. And for the next 2 hours, we will be together exploring what's new in the FinTech sector. Here with me, I have the honor to have Mrs. Vicky Foteinou. She's the Program Manager of Crowdpolicy. Welcome on stage.
Welcome, and let's welcome everyone participating here.
Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, this year the event, as you see, is staged on a virtual conference platform, but we will try to make it as much interactive as we can. There will be opportunities for engagement and chances for Q&A questions. Furthermore, virtual booths for the companies and networking space for potential investors and partners will be available. What we will see? We will see 12 leading startups from Greece and Cyprus in areas such as financial management based in artificial intelligence, point-of-sale automation platforms, behavioral authentication, contactless donations, product delivery, big data analysis, ticket issuance and payment, compliance, open banking, credit scoring, and more. Besides Visa and bank executives, stakeholders of the program, VC funds, mentors and supporters of the program, as well as key executives of the FinTech ecosystem will share their knowledge with the audience. The program of the demo day includes important intro talks and keynote speech, a panel with experts discussing FinTech and the road ahead, and of course pitching videos by the two cohorts, followed by Q&A sessions with the consultation panel. Let's start and let's welcome Mrs. Andreana Pappas, Head of Visa Greece. Welcome.
Hello there and thank you. I hope you can all hear me well.
Do you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Hello?
You can begin.
You can
Perfect.
begin your speech.
Perfect, thank you. So dear partners, dear friends, dear colleagues, welcome to the Visa Greece Innovation Program Demo Day. Thank you so much for joining us. It's greatly appreciated. Our aim today is to jointly embrace the fintech companies which have been part of this journey, of this program that we are developing in the Greek market together with Crowdpolicy. And we're also here to celebrate the completion of the program's 2 cohorts. The Visa Innovation Program was designed to leverage local fintech talent and develop solutions to transform digital payments in the local market and beyond. This initiative allows us to enhance the capabilities of our promising fintechs to deliver solutions to market challenges and to continue to shape the future of payments and commerce in general. The program was launched back in March 2019, aiming to enable our digital payments ecosystem, as I said before, in very specific manners, through the development of new solutions for cross-border payments in tourism, across the retail and social sector through co-creation, open innovation methodologies and scale in the market, generating more convenient ways to pay and to be paid for both consumers and for businesses in the private as well as in the public sector. During the selection day, which took place back in October 2019, out of 36 applicants, 6 companies were finally chosen to participate in the first cohort of our program. These companies were supported to develop their propositions through a sectorial 5-month cohort. This support included mentoring and coaching from top fintech experts, discovery sessions, support for Visa APIs, as well as for software developer and networking within the wider startup and fintech community, as well as workspace, and of course, guidance on funding investigation. The fintechs have also been encouraged to leverage the Visa Developer platform, which provides simplified and user-friendly access to many of Visa's popular products and services through APIs, allowing anyone to transform a great idea into new digital commerce experiences. So following the success of our first cohort, during which design sessions, meetings with clients, as well as partnerships with Visa were materialized. At the beginning of late April of this year, the program welcomed another 6 new startups in Greece. So in total, from the two cohorts, we have 12 startup companies with us. Coming back to today then, during our very first demo day, you will have the opportunity to get to know the interesting solutions of the first and the second cohort startup companies. And I will list them here. Orderstate, Do It For Me, Ferryhopper, Linked Business, Bubbllz, Stoferno, Simply, Squaredev, Plum, Spiral, Quadible, and Giving Streets. I hope I didn't miss any. Some of them are in the proof of concept phase with leading Visa clients. Others are focused on expanding throughout Europe, opening offices in Central, Eastern, and Western Europe. And some are partnering with international companies or are in the process of raising funds. So each company is unique and it is moving with different dynamics and speed, but they all have huge potential, we believe, to bring truly innovative solutions far beyond the borders of their physical geography. The two cohorts were completed just last month, October 2020. We remain committed to bringing value through our company's global expertise and know-how, developed through advanced FinTech programs in other markets, as well as through the excellent work happening within Visa's Global Innovation Centers network. This backdrop, which is unique to Visa, will be leveraged to evolve the program so that you, the FinTechs, can get even more support and more benefits in this ever-changing and full of opportunities ecosystem. So stay tuned. Speaking of advanced programs from other markets, as well as about our global experience, I will now pass the floor over to Sevi Vassileva, who brings in a lot of expertise, know-how, and a wider perspective. And so she's very well placed to address us all as part of the inauguration of today's demo day. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Andreana, and hello from me as well. I'm very happy and pleased to be with you today at our first demo day of the Visa Innovation Program in Greece. So let me start by saying that 62 years ago, Visa began its journey with a simple idea to transform commerce and payment. So the question that was asked, or the problem that was addressed at that time was, what if money became fully electronic and consumers could use it at any time, wherever they happened to be, 7 days a week? And that extraordinary idea then belongs to Dee Hock, who is the founder of Visa. And today his vision comes to life more than 65,000 times every second. So by turning cash into electronic payments, it's actually possible to say that Visa is perhaps the oldest fintech in the world. And despite the fact that today we are among the top 10 companies in the world, fintech and innovation are in our blood. So we understand the value that innovators bring to the world of payments, and we also understand the challenges they face. Therefore, we at Visa aim to support them along their way by opening our network, partners, and technology to help them actually build, test, grow, and scale. You may ask a question, why? Why are we doing that? A couple of reasons. First, because we at Visa believe that digital payments are the catalyst for recovery of the economy. They're a critical source of empowerment of small businesses, women, and other underserved groups. Because we believe that startups challenge the status quo and play a pivotal role in disrupting the traditional payments and commerce landscape through skillful use of technology, data science, better customer experience, and innovative approach to process engineering. And all of these themes actually gained great impetus at COVID times and are here to remain as the next normal of how we do business. Because also we know that there is abundance of opportunities out there for fintechs and financial service providers to explore. We call them new payment streams, where up until recently cash was the king. There's huge room for growth in digital payments and e-commerce, because we need to support the transformation of the small businesses to enable them to survive and recover in these very difficult times we live in. And last, but certainly not least, because we believe in collaboration that brings innovation and agility closer to the established players in the market and our traditional and established partners. So I'm addressing the startups and the fintechs today. So every one of you guys and the likes of you has a role to play to transform the global ecosystem, reduce the cash economy, bring financial inclusion, and make electronic payments accessible to all. You may then ask the question, how? Andreana already touched upon the fact that we've opened our global network VisaNet into an open platform through the Visa Developer Platform. We also support the challengers in this space through our FinTech Fast Track program. And the program actually helps new players become a Visa issuer, and also it helps them financially and with know-how, knowledge and experience scale much quicker. And we've also established a network of innovation centers across the globe. Today, there are more than 10. And this has proven especially useful in actually bringing or shortening the distance between the corporates and the fintechs, and providing them a platform for easy testing and faster adoption and implementation of solutions. So our Visa Innovation Program in the region, in Greece, in Bulgaria, in Turkey, is an epitome of this. We started back in 2018 with 11 ventures in Sofia, and it wasn't easy, but we kept pushing through what was then an idea until it became a reality, very much like what a startup does. And it was so successful that we exported it to Greece a couple of months after that, in March 2019, and to Turkey in May 2019. So we formed a kind of innovation regional hub for supporting fintech and startups. I will not talk about, Andreana touched upon it, and then you will hear more from actually the companies, how they see the value of the Visa Innovation Program and the partner network, including also the Crowdpolicy community, to them. What I want to say is that this has been a great success, and I'm so proud to have Athens alongside the Visa Innovation Centers in Dubai, in London, in Berlin, in San Francisco, Miami, Tel Aviv, Singapore. You are all part of the powerful innovation family of Visa, and you should be proud, really proud of what you have achieved so far. It's our first demo day in Greece, and it's a major milestone, and I'd like to congratulate all of you. I also like to take the opportunity and thank our partner, Crowdpolicy, our client banks, partners from the investment community, and various industries for the support and very active engagement with our Visa Innovation Program in Greece. I would also like to thank you, dear startups, for choosing our program, for sharing with us your ideas, energy, and inspiration. Your spirit is indeed contagious, so please keep walking, keep doing, and keep dreaming. And with that, I leave you to enjoy what I believe is going to be a very interesting and fulfilling demo day today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Here we are again, back to the studio. Together with me is still Vicky Foteinou, Program Manager at Crowdpolicy. We will have a short presentation for the Visa Innovation Program. I know that you have been running this program for the last 2 years.
Yes.
So
yes.
Tell us a few things about it.
And it's been a great experience to be part of it. Actually, the last 2 years, the team of Crowdpolicy ran along with a great fintech company, Visa, and Visa partners, the local 2 cohorts of Visa Innovation Program. Crowdpolicy has built during the last 6 years an extended startup ecosystem via various open innovation initiatives, implemented innovation labs, more than 31 crowd hackathons, and more than 13 accelerator programs in smart cities, fintech, energy tech, green tech, and insurtech, with over 500 teams and 6,000 participants. We are proud to say that through Visa Innovation Program, we managed to contribute and enable the entrepreneurial local spirit and helped startups develop applications, experiences, collaborations for the global market, for business and public stakeholders, contributing to the economy, growth and extraversion of our economy. We really want to grab the opportunity and thank Visa team, all the executives from the banks that participate in the program, with whom we have often meetings with, and of course, all the people in the startups that trusted Visa Innovation Program and applied, either they entered or not. And of course, our 12 startups which participate in the 2 cohorts of the Visa Innovation Program. Instead of a presentation for the program, I have prepared a short video in which you can watch the roadmap of the Visa Innovation Program since March 2019 with the launch event and some key points of the program, like the engagement, the 2 selection days for the cohort in October 2019 and April 2020, in which all the stakeholders of the program and Visa participated. You will also watch snapshots from the many mentoring hours that have been taking place since then. 70 plus meetings with all the stakeholders of the program, banks and Visa. Moments from discovery sessions, 14 workshops tailored to the needs of the company, and of course our 5 open events. It was not possible to include everything that has been produced during these 2 cohorts, but I hope you can get the general idea of a productive program which is result-oriented and gives access to the global network of Visa. So without any further delay, we would really like to thank you from Crowdpolicy as well for being here today and get prepared for the next cohort of the Visa Innovation Program. Thank you very much.
And after this insightful video, let's go to our keynote speech, Rethinking Customer Experience in Financial Services by Professor Zachariadis Markos, Greensill Chair in Financial Technology and Innovation Systems at Alliance Manchester Business School and member of the World Economic Forum's Global Future Council on Responsive Financial Systems. Mr. Zachariadis, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and thanks a lot for the invitation, both to Visa and Crowdpolicy. I have to say, I'm also one of the mentors of the Visa Innovation Program, working closely with people from Crowdpolicy, and it's an amazing pleasure to be back. I've had lots of great experiences talking to a few of the startups over the course of the program last year, but also this year. And I just wanted to say congratulations to everybody for putting together such a great program. I think it's amazing progress for the Hellenic kind of FinTech family and looking forward to participating in more events and programs like this in the future. So as I was mentioned, my role basically as an academic is really to study the role of technology in financial services, and that's what I've done the last 15 years or so. So I started looking at the productivity effects of technology in financial services, and then later on moved to topics around strategy, and even looking at today the data sharing frameworks that we have in financial services as being kind of really critical in changing competition dynamics, but also economic benefits and customer benefits. And this is what I'm going to try and talk a little bit about today, how we can rethink customer experiences, how we can rethink the benefits that our consumers as financial industries institutions receive in the receiving end from this kind of data openness, and how we can think about data strategically in doing so. So just to say that obviously data sharing in finance is not something new. We have seen and we have experiences from open and external APIs, for example, implemented even by Visa, and you can see here the example of Visa Checkout, on how we can integrate some of these services that some of the big financial institutions like Visa, for example, embed into their infrastructures. And we have here the example of e-commerce partners, for instance, where you can obviously embed the experience of the payment into and fully integrate it into the context of a particular other industry, right? So payments are a very good first example of how to do that. And today, in the day and age where we have a lot of mobile applications, we see kind of the same with in-app purchasing. Right? So the biggest trend right now is essentially to take all these payment functionalities and try and even embed them within the environment of the app. And for that, again, we have experiences and functionalities from multiple companies in the industry. And of course, thinking about that in the context of open finance, we have seen that open finance is one of the key drivers in delivering better customer experiences by embedding and incorporating, these services into different kinds of environments. And the first thing that we have seen as an emerging kind of business model, if you want, is taking this unbundling of the financial services overall through the competition we have seen from fintechs and trying to rebundle it in a way that is meaningful to the consumer, right? So curation of these services that are potentially external and how to embed them using open finance and open data has been one of the key kind of concerns thinking about open finance in regard to the customer experience. And we have seen that play out in many different ways. One of the most effective kind of ways to think about this is how you can bring, again, third-party value into the fold of a platform, right, and allow consumers to be able to consume these services securely, for example, but also have the benefit of comparing different services, comparing the quality of different services and the pricing of different services. And that kind of leads us to also new business models, as I said before, but also to quite an extensive customer choice. This has been a paradigm that has been used by many of the challenger banks, and I think I may have shown this particular slide before in one of my other presentations, but you can see here how openness of data really adds value to the consumer by taking some of these external value and being able to bundle it in a meaningful way that really serves the customer. And we have examples like Revolut in the UK, or N26, another German challenger bank spreading across Europe, and even Starling Bank in the UK as well. So this is kind of pointing to the emergence of new platform business models, but also to a huge extent to the benefits that consumers kind of consume. And that can happen in many different ways. One of my favorite examples has been for quite a while Starling Bank, where they essentially create marketplaces, and that's how they kind of manifest these openness of data into better customer experience and better customer choice. Other examples, which obviously are very familiar to a lot in this particular event, because you're all into fintech quite a bit, and I'm sure you have seen a lot of these examples before. But financial data aggregation has been another driving force, or another kind of big experience that we can really leverage openness of data in this context, right? So we have, for example, the ability of consumers to really aggregate their information in one particular interface, which again in itself allows for better comparisons, but also for the useful consumption of data that the consumer kind of benefits from these. And you can extend this kind of data openness for the benefit of the customer, thinking about across many different products as well. You can have mortgage application becoming much better, much less painful, for example, by sourcing data that are sitting in closed systems into particular apps, or exporting these data into different environments, so financial institutions can make decisions and pitch new services to consumers, right? Again, thinking about streamlining particular financial services products in that respect. And, for the benefit of the customer also, but also the organization participating in this kind of greater ecosystem, that means that potentially you can have an easier and faster customer acquisition as well. Because now sharing data across means that you can migrate your entire profile or data history into a different environment and consume a different service from another provider. So that also really plays a lot in the economics of competition behind openness of data. Now, last year, I wrote a report for HSBC pointing to some of these developments, and really did a series of interviews with leaders in the financial services industry, mostly here in the UK. And one of the key things that you can see from this kind of revolution of data openness really driving some of these benefits to the consumer, one of them was that in the future, in the next 10 years, banking will be much more customer-centric, and opportunities and products will be way more personalized than we had so far. So financial institutions will have the ability to use and leverage these data to provide better experience and better and more relevant services to consumers, but also allow organizations and consumers, and that could apply both retail banking, but also SME customers, thinking about or having a better cash management and financial management of their own kind of finances or in their own financial position. That will reduce, of course, the bureaucracy, safer communication of these data and third-party applications that sit externally to these environments. And in the end, it will also provide better automation, because a lot of these data are machine readable, and you can provide programmable services that will engage into faster interactions and better decision making and kind of more automated decision making. So these are some of the benefits that we have seen from open finance. But even going beyond that and thinking about open finance in the greater context and how you can embed some of these, not necessarily through the traditional kind of mobile application channels, let's say, we have seen the emergence of, money being conceived as a form of media, right? Or money being conceived or embedded in particular messaging interfaces, for example, right? Because they can be a form of communication in the end. And in that respect, we have seen examples from big big technology companies like WhatsApp and Facebook messaging pretty much incorporating and giving space as a new kind of channel of communication for money and financial services as well. So this is basically the existing kind of big tech companies taking advantage of the reach and the grad and the large customer base to embed some of these delivery of the financial services into their own channels. And this is catching on. So we have seen the entrance of big tech companies into this space through the means of providing or offering themselves as channels of communication. We have examples like Google, who are keen basically now collaborating in the US with large banks like Citibank and other credit unions to provide new wallets and new service or a bank account in that particular case. Of course, we have Apple with a credit card for quite a while now as a very big example of that. We have Uber. They launched a bank account in South America, allowing drivers basically to use the Uber interface and communication platform as one that they can potentially consume financial services through it. And again, Amazon and Facebook, very good examples of that kind of embeddedness, if you want, of financial services in different contexts in the industry, which means kind of blurring the boundaries between industries in itself. And I think that's a very big point we have seen of the latest industrial revolution, right? Which is playing on right now. And these usually kind of embedded experiences are really focusing at the experience layer, right? So the way and the comfort with which consumers can access these data and consume this information. And I think the Apple Card example is really key here, because it's not just another credit card. It provides this amazing experience to the consumer where they have and they can control their finances. They know what they're spending their money on. They know when their payments are due, and they can categorize the spending patterns as well to help them make decisions going forward. And we see that also in the SME space kind of unfolding through different solutions. And I think that's where we're kind of being led to the big bet of what we call these days embedded finance, which a lot of people think is the next big thing in financial services as an extension of open banking to open finance to embedded finance. And this, a lot of people predict that it's going to be a new multi-trillion-dollar industry. So there's a recent estimation by Bain Capital Ventures, where they said by 2030, this embedded finance idea will have increased the revenues in financial services related products by 3.6 trillion, for example. And you can see here another estimation by Lightyear Capital on how it accumulates in the next 5 years or so. So these are all really interesting things, and there's certainly a lot of developments around it. There's a very interesting article at Forbes magazine talking about the phenomenon of embedded finance, and a good example, I think, was also the case of Goldman Sachs and how they came up with these kind of API developers portal for transactional banking, which is one of the first of the big banks we see kind of pointing to that direction. So far, we had a lot of these enablers. For example, we had more fintech-oriented companies or challenger banks like Rails Bank, for example, in the UK, but also others in the US like Plaid, really acting as enablers, or the pipes, if you want, where providers can exchange information and data through them. And of course, you have, if you break down the classification of how this embedded finance landscape will result into, you have the providers that produce the services, you have the enablers that do exactly that, enable these services and embed them into different environments. And the article very nicely kind of ends with the containers. These are firms like potentially big tech companies, but also companies like Shopify or even Uber, where they aggregate the services across the different providers and offer them in a very nice experience, customer experience as part of their own platform and network. So these are some of the thoughts that I'm going to leave you with. Thanks a lot for paying attention. I hope this was helpful and really played into some of the things and debates we're going to discuss for the rest of the day. And I'd like to thank again Visa and also Crowdpolicy for the invitation. It's always a pleasure to be back.
Precise, to the point, and very informative. Mr. Zachariadis, thank you very much. Here with me on studio is my partner in crime for today, Giorgos Karamanolis, CIO and CTO at Crowdpolicy. And I think that the time has come. Let's meet our first 6 startups, starting from Ferryhopper, that operates in the tourism sector, most dynamic booking platform for ferry tickets that has recently raised its Series A funding of 2.6 million euros to expand internationally.
Ferryhopper is the easiest, coolest, and safest way to book ferry tickets. Think of the last time you wanted to travel by sea, to visit an island, to go from port to port, or simply get to work by ferry. Now imagine a place where you could do all this with just one click and no worries. That's how ferry traveling should be. Simplicity brought by combining and comparing all information at once. That's why Ferryhopper is the best way to book ferry tickets. We are currently collaborating with more than 53 major and smaller ferry companies to offer your ferry itineraries to more than 250 Mediterranean destinations. We plan on expanding our horizons to even more destinations. This can only be achieved thanks to our amazing team who loves solving problems, is enthusiastic, dedicated, creative, and honest. Since we sold our first ferry ticket, In 2017, we have helped more than 800,000 of avid travelers plan and book their fairy tales to the islands of the Mediterranean. We always strive to cater to the needs of all travelers and to improve our services. We always prioritize our travelers and we create products that we ourselves would love to use. Our website and our mobile application are two modern products that revolutionize online ferry booking. What we offer is an intuitive way to plan your trip and book your ferry tickets by comparing prices, travel duration, vessels, and ticket types. One way, round trip or island hopping, we provide the best direct and indirect ferry routes in a clear and easily comprehensible way. We created Ferryhopper in order to provide the perfect solution to all our ferry problems. We created the best ferry booking engine we could imagine, with the aim of becoming the best ferry companion, before, during, and after the trip. We are changing how the world travels by sea. Through our participation in the Visa Innovation Program, we gained a lot of useful experience, connections to a whole new sector we didn't really know how to approach, and very helpful mentoring and advising throughout the program. We are very grateful for this opportunity and help. Ferryhopper, we are changing how the world travels by sea.
Yorgos.
This is a great example how we can create and maintain hope for one of the most dynamic Ferryhopper, how we can create and maintain hope for one of the most dynamic sectors in Greece for the tourism sector. Well done, guys.
Let's go to Orderstate, tracking and collaborative SaaS platform in the supply chain industry created by experienced practitioners of the sector. Let's watch the video.
Track, collaborate, and automate your shipment operations with Orderstate. We know that shipment management is complex and it takes enormous effort to track, coordinate, and streamline your operations. Hundreds of emails and phone calls just to receive the information and documents you need without having a single point of truth. Orderstate can give the tools to optimize collaboration and visibility of your shipments while getting insights to make data-driven decisions. Track easily, get automated notifications, assign important tasks to your team, share all the necessary documents, and so much more. Now, you can streamline easily all your shipping operations, integrate with anyone that really matters for your business, and minimize the costs and manual effort. We are joining our knowledge and experience with companies within the whole supply chain and shipping industry, and we see the value Orderstate can bring in every different business case. With our software as a service platform, we can support and fulfill through different tiers all the needs of a small company up to a large enterprise, and we have the way of doing that. We have seen the last years growing competition environment with many companies like Flexport or Beacon getting enormous funding. But this is something that motivates us more as we see the great opportunity for entering a promising, not saturated space. We are three co-founders having complementary skills from business, supply chain, and software development that can achieve the goals and challenges inside a rapid growing market. Along with Visa, we explored new possibilities within the supply chain finance, which can bring more value to our software and create a holistic solution for the market. The executives and the companies we met during the Visa Innovation Program provided great value, and the potential collaborations can make our story a success. Orderstate is now live and running, looking for new opportunities with companies that want to operate in a more digital way and find solutions for their shipments and supply chain.
Another innovative startup is Stoferno, on-demand platform of goods delivery in less than 2 hours that made a co-branded marketing campaign with Visa as part of the program. Let's watch that.
Stoferno.gr is a last-mile delivery-on-demand platform. We get you anything you want delivered in minutes, and we get that done through two product offerings: our last mile on-demand courier service and our local same-hour retail and grocery delivery marketplace. Our added value on the courier service is that we get things delivered same day and in as little as 2 hours. We offer real-time map tracking, estimated time of arrival, and bulk import capabilities to our partners. Regarding our marketplace, we offer same-hour grocery and retail delivery from local stores. It also includes real-time tracking and an easy registration process for merchants. Some of our clients and business partners include large multinational corporations and organizations. We're currently at over 100 recurring transactions daily and growing. Through the Visa Innovation Program and our partnership with Visa and Crowdpolicy, we offered free delivery for all Visa card holders for a period of about 2 months. We completed a co-branding digital marketing campaign, achieving significant awareness for Stoferno.gr. This is indeed a great asset for us, and we have gained trust and visibility through this. We're a core team of 5, including our advisor, who is the former general manager of SpeedX and PwC. Our goal is to become the most preferred last mile solution in the market, offering quality, convenience, and speed to our users.
Great. I think we need more Stoferno platforms, as we can imagine how important these platforms are in cases where we have to support local economies and local markets and local SMEs.
I totally agree with you. And let's go to Bubbllz. Is a reward B2C platform with social integration for retailers by a highly creative team based in Thessaloniki.
Hi, my name is Konstantinos Batsiolas, and me and George Draskias, we created Bubbllz. Today I'm going to share a story with you. I was in a store buying tennis shoes. I posted a picture with a question, do they look good on me? I paid and went out. In 1 minute, I had 43 likes, and a friend made a comment, you will lose no matter the shoes. So I was walking, writing a funny reply. I reached at the end of the sidewalk, and I was going to step into the street. At the time, a car was coming to hit me. So when I took the step, a hand caught my shoulder. I turned to see who saved me. Thank you, I said. What is your name? My name is Lisa, she said. I'm the store owner that you just bought the shoes. A friend of mine in Facebook, who's apparently a friend of you too, sent me your post. I would like to thank you for advertising me to your friends. Although next time, please try to mention my brand, she said, smiling with a joke. Okay, Lisa, you just gave me an idea. Would you like an application providing your way to get advertised with every customer and every sale? She says, yes, who wouldn't? Lisa, would you like when someone posts from your store the picture to be at the cashier along with a coupon so they can get rewarded the moment they pay? Would you like your brand logo to be in thousands of posts automatically to Facebook? Imagine, Lisa, logos like Nike, Aegean, Discover Chris, Zara, to be in millions of posts, and your logo too. Customers, to sports fans, to tourists. This would be great, she said, but why are you calling me Lisa all the time? My name is Visa. So, Bubbllz is a win-win mobile application that converts customers to advertisers and rewards them when they post what they buy, even in real time. And this can be implemented to lots of marketplaces, such as sports, tourism, e-shops, apparel, etc. So to the end of the story, like Terminator, I said, Visa, come with me if you want to be in millions of posts every day. Let's create a movement where the customer is in the center. And Visa said, to be continued. Thank you.
Το ξέρεις πως με αυτή τη φωτογραφία μπορείς να τα πάρεις μισή τιμή? Αλλά θέλει Bubbllz. Κατέβασε την εφαρμογή για να απολαμβάνεις δώρα και εκπτώσεις σε όλα αυτά που σου αρέσουν. Μη βγάζεις φωτογραφίες. Κάνε Bubbllz.
We leave Thessaloniki and we transfer to Volos. Yorgos, let me introduce you to Do It For Me. It started as a social network, but after a pivot, it is now aiming to become the digital assistant for small and medium businesses and freelancers as well in online advertising.
Hello everyone, my name is Vicky and I'm the founder and CEO of Do It For Me. Do It For Me is a marketplace for professional service providers that aims to become the digital assistant of small and medium businesses in online advertising. Everything started 2 years ago when we were talking with some professional service providers about their advertising needs, and we suddenly realized that all the technology in 2020 is highly developed. Professionals don't know how to use the social media advertising tools, and they are still using outdated advertising web platforms and catalogs, spending hundreds of euros to promote their sales. So we thought about creating a new marketplace for services that will provide easy-to-use tools and consulting services as a virtual digital agency assistant. So DoItForMe.eu today integrates social media's user experience with the LinkedIn philosophy and the practicality of a city guide. We started targeting professionals in the province under the age of 50 who use the internet to be advertised. In Greece, there are 100,000 professionals who meet those criteria. Greece is the first country in the European Union in terms of self-employment, with 29% of the population declaring self-employed. So we can't miss this huge opportunity. We charge every professional service provider who joins our community a €62 per year subscription fee as a basic plan, and then we provide personalized premium services with a monthly subscription fee. We compete with companies such as Stoferno and Briscoe that do not have the user interaction or UX UI of social media. We are working on how can we integrate the business manager APIs to our platform so that any user could run easily a successful campaign on Facebook and display the data of the campaign to our platform in a more friendly way. Right now, we have more than 400 professional service providers in the province with a basic plan, and more than 50 with premium monthly plans. Our company consists of 6 members: me, Yusuf Reda, my co-founder and CTO, Giorgos Kalvadis, senior full stack developer, Dora Paioannou, graphic designer, Haris Varofoti, journalist and SEO copywriter, and Athina Christidou, digital marketer. Our participation in the Visa Innovation Program gave us a lot of credibility towards our customers and the opportunity to make the first steps to start a partnership with a leading Greek bank. We're asking for partnerships with Greek companies that have as customers professional service providers in order to give them an online presence through our platform with a special discount. Thank you.
It is great, and we are very happy to support startups that support the local economies and provide added value services. And I strongly believe that Do It For Me concept is a transferable concept. And also, I would like to mention the fact that we can find talent startup companies that are developing solutions and innovative products, not only in Athens. We have seen startups from Thessalonica, from Volos now with Stoferno guys, and this is something that also make us very happy.
Last but not least, Linked Business, awarded platform-driven service for B2B leads and intelligent decision-making from a Democritos spin-off based in Thessaloniki as well.
George, sales manager of Espresso Now, would like to know how many cafes operate in all over Greece. Which businesses have been established during the last month? In which regions did most of them open? Which are the ones that close at a faster pace? Don't worry, George. Link Business offers you the most effective B2B direct sales leads. We provide you with all existing and new businesses in your industry, combined with statistics as an interactive list in a map or in the tablet of your Salesforce. John, credit risk manager of Trust Credit Bank, would also like to know more about his customers and suppliers. Who owns and who manages their businesses? Do they have debts to the state? Are they involved in public contracts or receive subsidies? Are they related to offshore entities? John, you don't have to worry. Link Business supplies you with the most effective Know Your Client tools concerning the business you're interested in, when it was founded, and which industry does it operate? Is it active today? Who are the owners and or managers? Do they participate in other businesses or offshore? What decisions has the administration taken recently? Has it undertaken public contracts? Has it been subsidized? Does it have a debt to the state? But how? It is open data from public sources, and based on our long-standing research, we managed to transform them from available into useful. We collect huge amounts of data, and we read automatically a lot of text. We correct them with the pioneering technology we have developed in order to transform them into intelligent information. Thus, we're able to provide our customers with the best B2B sales leads and know your client metrics. Our solutions can be integrated into every business workflow. But who are you? We are award-winning researchers with scientific work in the field of big data, located in the technological park of the Research Center, Demokritos in Athens. Link Business products are being trusted by Greek and multinational wholesale and service companies, as well as financial institutions. The water flows freely, but a lot of effort is needed for it to become drinkable. Linked Business. Discover your market.
I think that Link Business is a great example where when we collaborate, where we can engage the academia, the startup ecosystem, and the local ecosystems in order to create added value applications. And also, this is the underlying magic of the combination of public data available from government and public data sources with the open financial data. And this is something related with what Markos Zachariadis mentioned about the open finance and embedded finance era. I hope that Linked Business will continue all this extraordinary work to develop solutions and services that will enhance and support the trust for our daily e-commerce and business transactions. And we are very happy to have startups like Linked Business to our program.
So we had the taste of the first 6 startups, and let me welcome Mr. Christos Patharakis, CEO at Ferryhopper, and Mrs. Leondiou Maria. She is Head of Innovation Center at Eurobank. Welcome, both of you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello. Thank you for having us. It's a great pleasure to be participating in this program.
Mrs. Leondiou, I think you have a question to address to Mr. Patharakis.
Of course. It's amazing because the tourism industry has been hardly hit by the pandemic. And the fact that you managed to raise funding, although despite the circumstances, is something admirable. So how did you manage, first to cope with this impact, and second, at the same time, which is the most amazing thing, is to convince the investors to invest in you? How did you do that?
Okay, look, the truth is that it was indeed a very, very challenging year, and especially the period of spring and the first months of COVID, and how people reacted personally in the team, in the market, our customers. It was very, very difficult to cope, to understand how to react. We were lucky because we have already started investigating for fundraising before COVID, so we had done some first initial steps. I believe that 2 are the main factors for us managing to complete this investment round. The first one is that we had a very, very good traction before that. So the first 2 months of the year, we were on a course to triple our revenues, our customer base, our transactions. So it was something that was going according to plan and a bit higher than the plan that we had from last year. And I think that what also played a crucial role for the investors to trust us was how we reacted in this situation. So the way that we realized quickly how we need to switch our activities, the focus that we will give, the way that we managed to go back to the Greek audience and the Greek users, even though Ferryhopper had the vast majority of international travelers up to this year. So I believe that they were convinced by our passion and our commitment to continue running the service, to support our customers, and of course support the team internally. That this is something that, okay, it will be a transitional period, but after that, the same people, the same company, the same passion will be there in order to come back to track.
I'm sure they saw the potential, and that's why they moved ahead with the investment. So thanks for the reply.
Thank you very much both. And our next guest is Mr. Thanos Valasis, co-founder at Orderstate, and Mr. Vaitsas Konstantinos, head of digital innovation at Alpha Bank.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello.
Let me start by saying that it's a real pleasure being here with all of you today. I'm one of those guys that I'm always very excited when exposed to the work that startups do. So thank you very much for having me. Thanos, congratulations. I followed the presentation, and I must say I agree with you. Shipment management is a very complex process and a very challenging area of business activity. However, me coming from the financial sector, I was wondering if you could elaborate a little bit on how you envisage the fintech element within your platform.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Konstantina. We're certainly a logistics and supply chain platform. We're trying to streamline and automate the whole process of an order. As you said, it's a very difficult and difficult process. So for start, we are now building the foundation, trying to automate the operational part. But then our next steps is to approach the payments, which are a big part of this process. And you have many transactions with your suppliers for orders and also your customs. And that takes enormous time and great effort. So we are creating a faster and safer way to track and optimize your operations, and along with that, to optimize your payments to be more instant, and of course to explore some ways of alternative payments like dynamic discountings or some factoring that could be useful if you are tracing the whole process of your order.
Excellent. Vicky, when the discussion comes to payments, I can definitely see several touch points. Thanos, thank you very much for your reply.
Thank you too. Thank you very much.
And let's go to Dimitris Likouris, CEO at Stoferno, and Mrs. Eleftheria Krithimou, Digital Product Senior Manager at Visa.
Hi, Dimitris.
Hello,
nice to
how
see
are
you
you?
again. Nice to see you and all the team being here and offering this value to our program. Thank you for that. So you were really, how can I say, you predicted the future with your solution because throughout the last months, you know, food delivery and goods delivery has become really a hot topic with the COVID era. So you're offering a critical service for this period. We are all searching our solutions and find a way out. So how are you planning to scale while maintaining your level of service?
So the first point I'd like to make is that our main focus is on ready goods, so retail and grocery. So we're not really involved at all with ready meals, ready food. Now, in terms of our services, we have both the courier service and the marketplace service. These are two different umbrellas under which we operate. The marketplace is still operating in the northern suburbs, and that's mainly because over the past couple of months we've been focusing on the courier service. and that's where we've had the most traction and the hottest traffic of them all. So we've scaled this service to all of Athens, so we can deliver same day across all of Athens. We can introduce new delivery riders depending on the client. We actually just signed with a new client which will be giving us a little over another 100 deliveries a day right now. So scaling is something that we do through the software. We have an optimization platform for best routing, and it takes many variables into account, like max capacity of delivery vehicles, traffic, and all this. We offer also real-time tracking and an estimated time of arrival for the recipient. So,
so good luck with the next steps.
Thank you.
We trust you. You are very capable. So we look forward to your next steps and expanding your business.
Thank you. We'll be in touch.
Sure, of course.
Thank you very much, Dimitris. Mrs. Grithimou stays, and in our company joins Konstantinos Batsiolas, CEO at Bubbllz. Welcome.
Hello from Thessaloniki.
Hi, Konstantine. How are staff there? I see you experience difficult days there in Thessaloniki these times, but I hope you are safe and healthy.
Yes.
So,
We're experiencing some difficulties, but with patience, we will come over it.
Great. All the best for you. You know, your platform raised my, attention from the first presentations that I attended, your product proposal, your service proposal. So, as a consumer, I'm wondering, which are the sectors that you have experienced more traction so far? So, could you provide me some examples, to understand better, how consumers react on that?
Yes, although we didn't make any marketing efforts to promote Bubbllz, the stores that went into Bubbllz by communicating the offers through Bubbllz, the customers participated. Our most traction, although, was in e-shops, where the communication was in a structure that we planned it before. We weren't depending to the employee of a store. So we had about 1,000 Bubbllz posts in 2 months in Meris Sinatsakis Buy-A-Boo e-shop, where the communication was in the customers when they were receiving what they ordered, and they were able to post what they bought. So they were getting coupons for the next purchase. Are we live? Did you hear me?
You are breaking. Can you please?
There is a technical issue, I think.
The connection is bad.
I think the connection is better now. We can hear you.
Now, I would like to say about the customer experience some things. Imagine being a store owner and being able to know who is your customer right now at the store and who posted in real time, and being able to say thank you because they posted their experience in their store. Or imagine being in a football field and making a post, and your post to be in the stadium big screen live in front of thousands of fans. These are customer experiences that can be implemented through Bubbllz, because live we have all the data of the customers that post, and the brands and the stores are able to provide a big thank you and able to reward them real time.
Great. Thank you very much, Konstantine. I'm not hearing you again. Yes.
Thank you very much, both. And now, Mr. Luigi Goulianos, CEO at Do It For Me, and we have a question from Mr. Chanialidis Alexandros, Head of Digital Channels Management at Attica Bank. Welcome.
Hello from Volos. Hello, Alexandros. Nice to meet you.
Hello. Hi. Hi, Luigi. Hi from Athens.
Nice.
Thank you very much for having us. So, Luigi, I see that you are looking for a partnership with Greek companies that have as customers professional service providers. So
Sure.
I would like to ask you, can you describe an ideal collaboration model with the
Yeah,
bank?
of course. Yeah, of course. With banks, we share the same customers. I mean, the professional service providers. So banks could give added value to their customers, helping them get the best online presence and use our tools to expand popularity through the web. Because banks sell service to professional service providers, and they want promotional offers for them.
Mm-hmm.
So why not collaborate with a startup that wants to give the best online presence and the best digital marketing advertisement for them?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Understood.
So we would cooperate to. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Luigi.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Luigi.
Thank you both. And now, Andreas Batsis, Digital Marketing and Strategy at Linked Business, and Mrs. Dora Trachana, Associate at Unifund.
Hello,
Dora.
Hi, Andreas. Nice to meet you. Well, I find that Linked Business is a very interesting platform. And recently you have announced your collaboration with Vodafone, a big multinational. So I have two questions. Starting with the first one, are you planning to replicate your model to other markets? Actually, we have already tested our platform on foreign countries, but we have, since we were lucky and we landed some really huge customers such as Vodafone during our early stages as a startup, we have finally decided that we will let them choose the path abroad. So it's not about which countries we have targeted so far, but it's a matter of where our multinational customers will choose to take us. Our main focus for the near future is still to establish our position here in Greece, expanding our services and enriching our smart information. Mm-hmm. Excellent. And actually working with them, I suppose that you have learned many lessons. Could you please share some of them with us? Nice one. The main lesson is that it's actually not a lesson because it's in our DNA. We are on a constant product market fit, following needs of our customers that we haven't even imagined till now. So the opportunity that we had to work with Vodafone gave us a lot of insight on how to expand our products and our services, how to enrich information, how to make it really usable at a top distance, maybe inside the mobile applications and so on. And the main lesson is this one: we don't offer a product that we claim that is a solution to your needs. We are listeners. We are good listeners. We listen to the customer needs, and we transform our products accordingly. Mm-hmm. Excellent. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you very much. Our first cohort has come to an end. Get prepared for the panel, FinTech Growth in the New Era. In a few minutes, Mr. Kalogerakis Konstantinos, who will be the moderator, Chief Innovation Officer at Crowdpolicy, will start the panel.
So hello everyone, again, here in the Crowdpolicy studio. We have a very interesting panel to discuss FinTech and the road ahead, strategies and opportunities, following the of course, very nice Q&A discussion of the first cohort. We have 4 distinguished guest speakers with us, and we have been reading and hearing about the widespread effect of the pandemic this year on FinTech, like shifts of consumer behaviors, the explosion of digital payments, online banking, e-commerce, the enforced digital journeys, and so on. And all these create new market dynamics. So it's great that this acceleration of change has caused the need for new opportunities, has caused new opportunities in FinTech. And I would like to keep this perspective to talk like, it's like talking to the founders right now. And I think our 4 guest speakers have lots to say. And they are Ms. Athina Hadjipetru, President and Chief Executive Officer of Hellenic Development Bank. Ms. Hadjipetru, welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Ozan Öztürk, Head of Strategy and Market Planning, Southeastern Europe Visa. Hello, Ozan. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thank you.
George Karamanolis is here with me.
Again.
Hi, George. Hi. CIO and CTO of Crowdpolicy, and Daniel Tomov, Managing Partner of 11 Ventures. Daniel,
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Daniel. Welcome. So, just to warm up, let's start. I would propose to start with a round of your perspective on where the opportunities lie in this new market landscape. There is a totally new landscape this year. So I would like to hear from you, where do you see there are opportunities? Ms. Hadjipetru.
First of all, let me thank you so much. It's a real pleasure to be here with you. I feel that I'm among friends and the startup ecosystem that is the future, not only in our country, but around the globe. Now, I will start by calling you dear friends. And while we will expect the vaccine for anti-COVID, it's time to we should start speculating on how we can rebuild a better future for our economy after the COVID-19 has gone. I will talk a little bit from the bank perspective. The truth is that the Greek economy is not in its best shape nowadays. On the other hand, there are many exciting opportunities to rebuild a better financial system for this country. Going digital is a core prerequisite on well-being and survival. This notion should become part of the scope and operations of all businesses and sectors. And as we see, working from home will be part of the new normal, well after the pandemic has passed. The same rule will apply for the finance industry. Key technologies such as FinTech, the use of technology to improve financial services and granting access to the general public, mobile banking, cryptocurrencies, and primarily in the companies involved in these technologies, what we call FinTech companies, are from now on our top priorities in our next steps. There is no further need to stress the importance of the digital agenda. It has been made all the clearer by the COVID shock. Greece must therefore start closing its digital gap, and we see a very fast pace on that, with the rest of the world, and this must be the main focus of the new investment era. Where we see the opportunity, we have the new European Recovery Fund. This will create a tremendous opportunity for Greece in that. Hellenic Development Bank can play a crucial role in exploiting the opportunities created for Greece in this pan-European initiative. The Recovery Fund, as we know, will target 20% of its spending on this digital agenda, and I will have to flag here that the pace of the implementation is expected to be unprecedentedly fast. We will need to cover 70% of the total in 2 years' time. Although everyone agrees that we need to spend more on the R&D funding across the sustainability agenda, digital, green, everything, HDB role will focus on the improvement of the access to finance. That is our role. We are financing the entrepreneurship. We are not able to go to the universities and support the research and development if this is not part of the entrepreneurship. So there are opportunities that we will see in our, from our perspective and statute, as we fully acknowledge the need to launch and support financial initiatives to fund new projects in the digital sector, such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, biotechnology, and primarily FinTech, as we are a bank. Areas that can increase efficiencies in mobilizing capital for entrepreneurial ventures. The need is underlined by our belief that becoming digital competent, embracing new digital technologies, and increasing funding in such areas is de facto a way forward and way out of the current crisis. I can tell you more on our objectives, but currently I think I should give the floor to the next participants of the panel. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hatzipetrou. Ozan, what is your view on the opportunities?
Sure. I mean, just to summarize, maybe some will echo Ms. Hatzipetro's points, but some are a little bit different from our perspective. I would say, in a nutshell, digital. Digital is the area where the opportunities lie. As you rightfully outlined, the new normal is changing the consumer behavior. Consumers are more obsessed around keeping their social distances due to obligatory force majeure, as well as due to their own preferences going forward, just to protect themselves. And this develops new ways to shop, pay, spend, and invest. To that effect, indeed, digital is the accelerating domain and accelerating opportunity area. Digital is, of course, a very wide. It's a very wide area. So what we mean by digital is, on the shopping side, we're talking about e-commerce. E-commerce is growing ever faster than it has been growing. So the services bringing consumers convenience and easier shopping, easier checkout, and bringing physical shopping to their homes, and of course coupled with seamless back office operations like excellence in delivery and seamless payments is going to be kind of the focus area of the consumer services, the focus area for with respect to consumer services. And the second bit is it's about how the customers are getting service from their financial service providers, be it banks or fintechs, or wallets, or whatever form you can name. The most important bit is that as customers cannot go to bank branches or physically cannot take these services, they have inclination to look for alternatives that would replace their typical interaction with their current service providers. So to that end, either from consumer perspective or from the business perspective, digital onboarding and digital instant services as digital issuance or digital investment opportunities that doesn't require wet signature anymore. These are going to be these are already becoming, have been the focus for banks and financial service providers for long, but they will increasingly gain importance as the landscape is looking like it's the current status quo is going to keep continuing for some while in the next months. So it's going to be the focus area. The digital onboarding, digital services are going to be the focus area. And last but not least, for all players who want to build a new consumer behavior, it is the right time and right moment. I mean, there's a big disruption in the market. So consumers are adopting new ways to pay, new ways to spend, new ways to invest. So it's a good period to test new concepts and launch them. So from that perspective, innovative ways to serve the clients is the third area of opportunity. And people are more open, more than ever indeed, in this space.
Absolutely, Ozan. And we see incumbents also going to this direction with great speed, much greater than before. So, George, what's your view?
Okay. What I would like to add to this very interesting and fruitful conversation is the fact that there are a lot of initiatives. For example, there are government initiatives for digital transformation. There is legislation now, for example, for digital transformation in government, or even PSD2 related things, or the latest registration for the Central Bank of Greece is also an opportunity. Mm-hmm. So what I think is that what if we can transfer the experience of financial technology startup in order to support verticals and key sectors of economy and society. For example, the challenges for digital transformation projects for the government sector are similar for the banking sector. Mm-hmm. The same discussion for onboarding, for KYC, for payments, for data analytics. So there is a great opportunity for FinTech startups to provide services to the government, to agriculture, to tourism. A great example, for example, with the guys from Ferryhopper. This is what I'm thinking. And the second is that there are also important funding opportunities. A recovery fund also is a great opportunity. Mrs. Hadjipetru has referred to recovery fund. So we have to keep our eyes open, operating as startups or facilitators as Crowdpolicy in order to optimize our support to the ecosystem. This is what I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. Opportunities from all sides.
Great. Daniel, let's hear your view on the opportunities ahead.
I'll pick some of the ending of Ozan, and it's actually it's very interesting times because of the pandemic. Is in a way kind of a blessing in disguise, because a lot of the changes that were happening, they accelerated a lot and they created incredible opportunities for entrepreneurs. So they are all over the place. And it's for the first time you see in such a rapid pace of barriers to entry falling down and actually being removed from incumbents like the banks, and they're trying to see ways of collaborating with fintechs, and this is very encouraging for all the reasons that were just mentioned. But what I see very interesting from our point of view is the way trust is shifting in the whole value chain. So, I mean, if like years ago, I mean, the banks were the only, the main party for your financial services. Now you have so many options, and they're increasing. And if there was a trust issue before, now you see whole generations trusting totally new services and not the banks. This doesn't mean that the banks will disappear. No, it's just a transformative moment for everybody, because the consumer behavior is changing. And it's very interesting because of the open banking. You see how you actually could integrate your financial services within a company, whether it's an e-commerce company or any other type of company, which was unthinkable years ago. So all these transformations, they're very interesting to follow, and actually to see how the entrepreneurs are picking up these opportunities and building value for everybody in the ecosystem. So it's from my point of view, it's a very exciting time.
That's great. Yeah, it's. I think everybody agrees on this. That there are exciting times ahead, despite of whatever we are living right now. And we've mentioned funding, and I would like to ask Ms. Hadjipetru to give us some highlights on the funding instruments that you are developing. And I think it's going to be very useful for all the startups, for fintechs, but also for any startup. But included. So could you give us briefly some details of this support?
Sure. First of all, I will need to tell you that we're constantly monitoring the market gaps. This is our job, in order to identify opportunities where funding initiatives dedicated to digital technologies also could be introduced. But for us, innovation is a very important area. For that, in our new organization that has been very, very, very recently started and initiated, we have a specialized innovation department. This is quite innovative for a bank, at least for a development bank. So we have a specialized innovation department.
Okay, maybe we have some connection issues.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now it's back.
Okay,
Could
thank
you
you so
repeat
much.
the last one, because we missed it?
Yes, I was telling you the most important thing, that we have a specialized innovation department in our new organization. HDB has a cluster, a specialized cluster called innovation. Is a vertical department. This department will inter alia introduce financial initiatives. In collaboration, we have this technical assistance by BPI France, Banque Publique d'Investissement France. And in this context, HDB is evaluating the launch of hybrid financial products that will have the grant element as well as the loan element. This will be addressed to Greek startups. It is really specialized. But overall, HDB has a range of risk-sharing instruments that include Portfolio Guarantee Fund. This is our biggest programs currently. We have co-financing with the banks. We have soft loans. We will introduce soft loans, microfinance loans, competitive grants. We are contributing to this green transformation with a very big initiatives called Execonomo, Kenotomo. We will introduce blending facilities like innovation, and we are about to have innovation context, tech transfer funds, innovation hub, and other more innovative initiatives. This is very, very new, as I was explaining. In addition, as you may know, HDB is involved with EIF in the co-financing of a very well-known system called Equifund. As you know, Equifund is the main instrument for Greek VC growth and investment in FinTech and other key digital technology growth. Very, very recently, HDB has signed an MOU agreement, and we work very closely with Innovation Norway in what we call Business Innovation Greece. It's a 30 million grant program for Greek SMEs and Greek caps in the areas of ICT and, of course, other areas. Our partnership with Innovation Norway will further develop in the next years. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So in a nutshell, these are what we have already in place and we plan to have in the very, very near future. And I think that your input as a startup community will help us fine-tuning the thoughts that I've just explained.
Excellent initiatives, and I think the Greek ecosystem has many opportunities in this direction. And I would like to ask Ozan regarding Visa Innovation Program, and what was the driver behind your investment in this program, and especially if this driver has changed during this, recent times and the turbulence that we have, and what is your objective out of it? Has it shifted?
Indeed, this is a very good question. The motivation, the whole program started as an exploratory exercise together with our partners 11 in Bulgaria. Then it jumped to Turkey and finally to Athens and in partnership with Crowdpolicy. And when we started this road, it was a long and full of learning, a journey full of learning. And frankly speaking, in the early stages of this exploratory journey, what we aimed was to create value for the ecosystem through partnerships with players who might have who are indeed fintechs or who might have payments embedded in their natural business flows. So whichever company who is receiving payments over digital channels was the focus of this program, in addition to fintechs. And the idea was to bring in Visa's ecosystem partners like the service providers, client base, the traditional clients and the incumbents, let me say, together with the new generation service providers, in order to generate value for these long existing players through innovative services of new generation service providers, as well as let the new generation service providers, I don't want to call them fintechs indeed. It's not only about being a fintech or not. Ultimately, for example, Ferryhopper is not a standalone fintech. It's a service provision company, and it's a new generation service provision company. So the idea was vice versa, to create and establish visibility for these new generation service providers so that they can grow their markets and generate business for themselves. And while doing this, our ultimate aim was to give access across Visa's network so that the new generation service providers are able to scale up their businesses in markets where they cannot reach standalone, like opening up to Europe and even into global. So I can name a few examples that have made their way to US, starting through our programs in these 3 countries. So that being said, this period is changing our appetite indeed, but in a positive way. At the end of the second cohort, now we are at a stage where we see the tangible results of our business. Like, we're able to create such a good spotlight to our program participants that they're able to raise funding from the venture capitals, private equities, etc., as well as they're able to find new markets to market their products, and they're able to scale up their businesses quickly in order to get proper investments and even make their round ABC investment rounds earlier than they planned. And besides that, we have seen that their impact on our business in terms of growing the payment ecosystem is indispensable. So our appetite is higher than the day we started, and I assume, and I know indeed, looking at the past 2 years, it will be growing every other day. We plan to invest into the ecosystem and feed the ecosystem even more in the next days. We'll continue our programs, and we'll come up with additional ideas to facilitate growth in our program participants' business, to make this program outclass its, let me say, peers in the market. Because now we're at a stage that we built our confidence, because the feedback we're getting from the fintechs and the program partners are extremely positive. We started to believe more and more in the value of what the program provides to its participants. So we're feeding ourselves from such positive feedback to give more back to the ecosystem. I think as Visa being one of the first fintechs, it is on us. It is a due on us that we should give to the ecosystem.
Thank you. And Daniel, you're presenting a VC that also runs Visa Innovation Program in Bulgaria. I would like first to tell me your VC, your appetite for investment at the moment, but also how do you view this collaboration between banks and fintechs through the very successful Visa Innovation Program in Bulgaria?
First of all, our appetite is bigger than ever, and because of that, we actually started fundraising our third fund, which is much bigger. We are targeting 50 million euro in order to address the great pipeline that we see across the region. So we are very positive about what is happening in the region. So this first. Second, I think that, I mean, again, starting with what Ozan said, I think that the Visa Innovation Program is the anchor element of the support infrastructure for fintechs here in the region. Because when we all started this, we started with the idea that in order to have thriving fintechs or even collaboration with banks, and so that you have new services, new value created for consumers or for anybody, you should have a supporting infrastructure where actually there is a format where fintechs could collaborate with banks, with other players in a natural way, where pilots could happen, where in a fast and efficient way, and this is what. This was actually our initial goal, and 2 years later, I should say that this is working extremely well. And I see, as Ozan said, I see not only on the fundraising and the companies are doing well because of this collaboration, but also there are a lot of new opportunities that are being realized between banks and fintechs, new services being launched because of this collaboration, and the most fulfilling thing is to see that the banks that have been conservative to this collaboration or trying different ways and not very successfully in the past, that they actually found this format as a natural way to collaborate with fintechs, and they're much more open now for this. And after the first steps, they have more appetite for actually this type of collaboration. And just to give you an example, there is a company that came out of Romania, international team, and they said in Romania we tried for more than 12 months to start something with the local bank, and because of the format in the infrastructure of the Digital Innovation Program, we managed in 4 weeks to start a pilot in Bulgaria with a bank, which is unheard of. So I mean, it's a great effort from all the parties around, and on the Visa side, on the partner side, that all this infrastructure was put in place, not only put in place, but actually put in motion and works, and it delivers. So and the good thing is that we see more scale-ups like SumUp, MyPos, and others that are actually willing to collaborate more and more with this framework. So I see great future for this initiative.
Great. So we are a little bit out of time. So let's have a quick round of everyone consulting the aspiring fintech startuppers who are listening to us with some proposals on how to go to market in these uncertain times. It's difficult, but I would like to hear your consulting to the fintechs that are here.
Okay.
Let's start with Ms. Hadjipetru.
Thank you. Well, as we heard, the landscape of credit has changed and will continue to change. I can give, let's say, food for thought from our end. HDB as a development bank is eager, and this is really a proposal, to use tools that will assist us in A, identify, classify, and analyze the market gaps. 2, design the right tools, but most important, and this is where I will really want to make a proposal to the fintech community, measure the impact. This is what we need. We need to be able to measure the impact for each single initiative so that we know what works where. And I wouldn't use the word what creates GVA, but we need to know the impact of each single initiative, not us as development, not only us as a development bank, but also, let's say, the source of our funding, that is the Greek state. So we have a program pipeline for Greek entrepreneurship, and we are not alone on that. We're not, let's say, experimenting. We're continuously discussing with other international finance institutions, including European Investment Bank, including the ministry. So we want to introduce more funding initiatives dedicated, of course, to this enormous transformation. We want to boost the pace with regards to this digital growth and innovation window. And we want to bring together, this is why we introduce a very specific innovation department, bring together the community and the ecosystem of startuppers around the financing and the future pace, let's say, of our industry. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. George, what's your...
I would like to use the cliché that I love. First, okay, we can think big. Every startupper and, of course, a fintech startup can think big. Visa Innovation Program, for example, provides the opportunity, if you are committed to a development, a business development and technology development plan, to imagine your startup as a collaborator and business partner with a bank. So this is a great opportunity, and we can think big if we are committed to what we are thinking to develop. The second is to act fast. There are opportunities from all sides, government-oriented opportunities, funding instruments, and the third is to start small. We can prototype very easily. For example, if I run a startup for agricultural sector or tourism sector or e-government, I can use Visa Developer Platform to extend the business and technology opportunities that I can create through Visa partnerships and the developer platform. This is what I'm thinking, and I think this cliche can be applied even to mature startups, not only to fintech startups.
Great. Daniel, what would you say to the startuppers who are listening?
Very, very briefly, I think that all of the startups should start locally with a pilot because there are now much more opportunities than years ago, and you have a lot of partners to collaborate with you. So you could validate your case with reputable partners, and once you have it, it's much easier to scale up abroad and actually get funding. And you have a great platform for this with the Visa Innovation Program.
Excellent, great. Now let's finish with Ozan. Ozan, you have the final word.
Yeah, I gave a few hints around my consulting in the answer of the first question, but let me say, revolutions always stem from force majeures. So we're in the middle of a force majeure, and it's time to make a revolution. And if the companies want to disrupt, it's the time now to do it. And they shouldn't be afraid of doing that. It is the right time to test, and the investments and the opportunities are out there more than ever, because investors are investors and they're looking for opportunities, and opportunities currently lie with disruptions. So this is basically it. And frankly speaking, the only way is up, I would say. Focus on going up.
Fantastic. That's a very good, positive tone to close this panel. Thank you all for your participation. It's been a pleasure to talk with you. And now we're moving ahead to the second cohort, a very interesting cohort that we had. And we're coming back with Ms. Akrivou to present you, and of course, George to present you the second cohort, and then the Q&A discussion as before. So thanks for watching this panel. See you.
Here we are again. 6 more startups are waiting for us to meet them. Are you ready, George?
Yes, of course.
So let's go to Giving Streets, multi-awarded financial inclusion platform that enables spontaneous cashless donations. Let's watch the video.
We first came up with the idea of Giving Streets when thinking about homeless people in our increasingly cashless society. While walking the streets of London, we often found ourselves willing to give to someone in need, but unable to do so because we never had any cash on us anymore. Homelessness is a pressing global problem we all witness every day, but with society going cashless, people and charities who rely on cash donations are having a hard time to survive. Technology is leaving people out, and this is what made us act. We thought, how can we use the technology that is the heart of the problem to actually solve the problem itself? So we came up with Giving Streets, a smartphone app that enables spontaneous cashless donations to charities and homeless people. All someone needs to receive donations is a Giving Streets QR code card. Using the Giving Streets app, just scan and donate. Recipients can redeem the collected donations at affiliated businesses, such as grocery stores, cafes, restaurants, or hostels. Charities receive the donations directly in their bank accounts. The whole process from donation to redemption is cashless, transparent, and requires zero equipment. At the moment, our target market comprises primarily of charities, especially those supporting homeless people, and our business model is based on a 5% commission on each donation made. What differentiates us from competing ideas, such as mobile POSs and tap and donate boxes, is the fact that we don't require any equipment on the recipient's side, thus we have zero onboarding cost. In comparison to fundraising websites, we enable spontaneous donations on the move. Our team has come a long way in the last 2 years. We have a functional prototype. We have established collaborations with large charities in Greece, and we have won the Shivas Venture competition for England and first place in Alpha Bank's FinQuest competition in 2019. Through our participation at the Visa Innovation Program, we gained valuable insight on regulatory and payments issues. We pivoted our original idea to comply with current regulations, and we are setting up a POC with one of the Visa partners. Funding would enable us to fully launch in Greece, enter the UK market, and have a dedicated team for product and business development. Our vision is to make the people who are currently left out equal members of the cashless society by developing a full financial inclusion platform. We are Giving Streets. We change the world one scan at a time.
Encouraging to
yes,
see
very encouraging, and two things. Yes, of course, and two things happen in parallel. First, we try through financial technologies and through Visa Innovation Program to develop and promote solutions and innovative startups that can address and utilize technology to address societal and problems and challenges, and to support social solidarity. And I think is that something that we have to focus in every open innovation initiative that we design to support social innovation and social solidarity. And the second, yes, and the second is that we'll try to support Giving Streets with a collaboration with the municipality of Athens. I think Giving Streets is an application that will support the goals and improve. And improve the relevant processes of the municipality of the city of Athens.
Next one is Simply, all-in-one management, a SaaS platform for small retail stores that effectively creates a very user-friendly mini ERP solution.
Simply is a point-of-sale system for retail stores and restaurants, and is the software that powers small businesses. Our software enables store owners to achieve more with less effort by organizing and automating all the daily time-consuming tasks like inventory management, e-commerce, and payments into an easy-to-use environment that anyone can use. We started simply in 2017 because we weren't satisfied with the status quo. It's not enough these days to just accept transactions and deliver receipts. We strongly believe that our software products should make our customers' life easier, make them work smarter, help them take data-driven business decisions, and for sure, create a positive impact in their daily lives. By the end of the day, everything is about the overall experience. We are very happy to see our customers succeeding and creating the best possible retail experiences to their customers too. That philosophy runs through everything that we do. In our team, we have young people from the UK, Greece, Pakistan, Germany, and China. We are a real family working together and sharing company's mission and vision. Our involvement in the Visa Innovation Program has helped us make useful connections with the FinTech ecosystem and collaborate closely with banks and institutions for the development of new cutting-edge payment features within our product offering. We managed to explore potential partnerships with Visa partners, discussed the use cases, and we have already signed our first contract. As the new era affects retail globally, it's more important than ever for brick-and-mortar retail store owners to have a multi-channel business presence in place. Our technology enables them to reach their customer wherever they are, both in store and online, by providing the most advanced yet convenient tools that retailers need to stay profitable, stand out of the competition, and come out stronger on the other side. Simply is growing way faster than anybody could ever expect. It's the best company I have worked for, and I also think that's the company with the biggest potential. Successful stores run simply.
What I think now is, okay, it is great that we have simply to our program, but also there are great opportunities. As there are, the Ministry of Finance is deploying a project where the live synchronization and integration of accounting books for every company, for SMEs, for retailers. So there are opportunities for simply, for example, to integrate and to be part of this transformation, to simplify the data sharing of the retailers and SMEs with the government and the taxes and GCIS. Great opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Here comes Wisely, credit scoring and income verification solution based on PSD2 open data.
Most lenders today, from banks to leases and real estate, will base the decisions either on documents provided by the customer or estimations on the income provided by third parties. The risk is always the same: high defaults, low acceptance rates, dissatisfied customers. But why is this happening? Because the whole lending industry is at the moment basing the decisions on insufficient data. This is the problem we are solving. The truth lies in the transactions of the borrower's bank account. Open banking came along to allow individuals to benefit from sharing their financial information with lenders. And this is what we do. We collect information from your customers on your behalf with their consent in a fully GDPR compliant way. We then analyze those transactions to measure their credit worthiness. What do your customers get? Instant answers, no papers, personalized services. What do you get? Less risk, no frustrated customers. If you are a bank, you are already sitting on a golden ocean of transactional data. You can use our solution to enrich existing customer data and get to know your customers better. We are currently running a proof of concept with a Greek bank just to prove that. At the same time, we ran our first pilot with a car leasing company. And we are already gaining traction from big players across the lending industry, a market of credit checks with TAM of more than 1 billion in Europe alone, just for individuals. We have plans to move to SMEs next, at which point we are disrupting credit rating agencies like HiCap. We can already reconstruct a company's profit and loss statement just from their bank account. And we don't stop there. We already have plans to leave our borders by the end of the year. And who are we competing against? Not directly, but the likes of Tink and Plate, as well as other open banking companies coming mainly from the UK, where open banking started 2 years earlier. We believe this is the perfect time to catch open banking momentum. This is why we are raising 500,000 euros to make this happen. And where will you put your money on? We already have a team of engineers and business developers in places across Belgium, Greece and the UK. What we all have in common is our experience in the banking sector, where also some of us met and our idea was born. Come talk to us. During the Vision Innovation Program, we had the chance to run our first proof of concept with the Greek bank, start partnerships with other startups and mentors, as well as meet some amazing people who have given us valuable advice. Thank you, Crowdpolicy.
Our next guest is iSpiral, a state-of-art AML KYC risk and compliance solution for financial institutions coming from Cyprus and aspiring to go global.
My name is Christos Tiniozo and I'm the CEO of iSpiral. Our value proposition is to help financial institutions become KYC and anti-money laundering compliant with minimum effort needed using an all-in-one technology platform. Now, money laundering is defined as the process of disguising the financial earnings of crime, which is a very complex process that can be achieved in 3 stages, which are placement, layering, and integration. In the 1980s, governments all around the world started issuing anti-money laundering laws to help agencies fight crime. The organizations are working under a very complex regulatory environment with huge regulatory fines, reputational damages, suspension of licenses, and even prison time. So the way that organizations are working today to tackle those challenges impact the speed of onboarding of new clients, the overall productivity of the personnel, but most important, whether they can tackle effectively money laundering and fraud. Here is our technology solution architecture to tackle those challenges. A unified approach with a single API that accesses several vendors with thousands of KYC negative data sources, digital identification technologies, together with a robust risk assessment engine, workflow engine, ongoing monitoring, transaction monitoring, and screening. This is a quick demo that shows the liveness detection and the document verification and the capturing of the data that goes back to the backend solution, which a risk assessment is done, the screening is done automatically, as well as the transaction monitoring and the electronic identity verification and the document verification. Also, you can see the legal entity profiling and how you can do the compliance for legal entities. By using our solution, you will be decreasing the time needed to onboard the client, you will be minimizing the false positives and streamlining the day-to-day compliance operations. On this slide, you can see that the market for KYC AML transaction monitoring will double within the next 5 years. Our pricing strategy is purely focused on subscription fees and prepaid bundles. Our transaction monitoring fee starts at 500 euros and our client lifecycle management at 400 euros per month, and onboarding is 120 euros per client. As far as our competition goes, on the next 2 slides, we're comparing both functionality and pricing, and you can clearly see the differences that we have with our competitors. Right now, we are present in 7 countries through our 9 partners and implemented 350 clients with more than 10,000 users. The core pillars why someone should choose iSpiral are superior technology and an end-to-end compliance solution. This slide shows the roadmap and the key milestones in a period of 3 years that includes expanding our products offering as well as business development needed on additional markets. We're working towards finalizing our financial projections that includes revenue earned and cost of client acquisition after the 2 million funding is secured. Our team is the power that is driving our innovation, quality and growth. We managed to grow organically and attract the best of the best. Now we are ready to go global.
It's time to meet the people behind Plum. Plum is an artificial intelligence assistant that boosts banking balances with a use base in the UK of more than 1 million and expansion plans across Europe following a $10 million round of funding in July, reaching $19 million in total.
Hi, my name is Victor Trikoudis. I'm the founder and CEO of Plum.
I've always wanted to build up a bit of cash, but life always seemed to get in the way. So a friend told me about Plum. An app that helps you do things like put money aside little by little, day by day, always based on what I can afford, as well as direct some of that cash into a bunch of investment funds. And over time, things got, well, great. It even noticed when I've been overpaying on my bills. So now, I'm ready for whatever life has to throw at me. Plum, the AI assistant for your money. Download the app now.
We went live with Plum in 2017, and the whole idea behind Plum is how can we bring wealth for everyone in the most simplest and automated way. What happens is that people connect their bank account to Plum. We see the transactional data in the bank account, and then based on that, we start automatically saving money for them so that they can start accumulating savings without needing to think about it. Then we also detect from their transaction list all of the bills that they're overpaying on, and those bills, we recommend alternatives, so utility bills, credit card bills, broadband bills, and those alternatives allow them to save money.
What's that?
Okay. Hey, Julia, Plum is an intelligent assistant that puts money aside for you, invests it for you, and has your back in case you're getting ripped off, without you needing to think about it.
Yeah, but how does it work?
Well, first you plug Plum into your bank account. It analyzes your income, your expenses, and your spending patterns. Then it figures out the right amount of money you can afford to put aside and moves that amount to a savings account every few days.
By doing these first two things, we believe that people can save 10% more in the first year automatically. And then we have an investment product that allows them to be putting the money that they're putting aside into various investment offerings so they can grow their money. And we offer high, low, medium risk funds. And then we also offer thematic funds like trading, emerging markets, healthcare, etc., so that the money grows. And over the lifetime, if someone saves and invests with Plum, we believe they can be 20% better off.
And you can invest in companies like Apple, Google, or Facebook using tracking funds to make your money work for you, or in companies that are strongly contributing to helping our planet and society. Even better, Plum constantly looks after your bills to see if you're being overcharged and helps you easily swap to a better option. Having someone looking after your money only used to be for the super rich. Not anymore.
We're now a team close to 70 people across a location in Athens and also London. We have 1 million customers in the UK, and we're looking to expand across Europe this year and next year to grow further. We joined the Visa program this year, and it was very helpful as we're looking to expand and also increase our offering to potentially offer a card, right, as part of our proposition. It was very useful to be part of the Visa Innovation Program and be able to understand how we can bring that offering to the market successfully and quickly. So yeah, we're very happy. We're happy to keep expanding Plum and helping people save money. Yeah, and that's it from me. Thank you.
Last startup is Quadible, artificial intelligence platform for authentication using behavioral patterns based on strong academic research that has already been tested by large organizations.
Quadible is bringing in the era of continuous behavioral authentication. You know how current authentication mechanisms, such as passwords, multi-factor authentication, and biometrics, are either inconvenient or insecure, or even worse, both. Today, we introduce you to the future of authentication, an AI platform that continuously authenticates your users without the need of any user input while learning their behavioral patterns, such as the way they move, the way they use their devices, their biometrics, and transactional patterns. That means that we offer a far better user experience to end users as they don't have to actively do anything. And at the same time, we're offering a cheaper line of business to you, both in terms of the technology enabling that and the benefit it gives in terms of mitigating risk and fraud. This means that banks can deliver a better service to their customers while saving costs at the same time. The mobile authentication market is huge. By 2023, it's estimated at 3.3 billion with 25% growth rate. Our initial target is banking and financial services with this segmentation of the market. Currently, we are doing trials with Samsung and Medtronic in the UK and in Spain. We have successfully completed POCs with a French bank and a global insurance company, and we are designing wider deployments. We are in the process of signing POCs with 2 Greek banks, and we are in discussions
with the Ministry of Defence in the UK. Partnerships have been shaped with 2 cybersecurity scale-ups and 1 IoT startup. There is a brilliant team of 6 people with complementary skills in AI, machine learning, security, mobile development, and design. 2 of us have a PhD in human behavior recognition, while our CTO is a cybersecurity expert. The Visa Innovation Program provided us great benefit in terms of creating new customer leads, getting business development mentoring, and starting discussions with VCs in the Balkan area. To summarize, our innovative user authentication helps businesses reduce their costs and improve their customer satisfaction. Interested in the future of authentication? Reach out to us.
And now, let me welcome once again Mr. Nikolov Todor and Mrs. Elena Vantageliou, co-founder, Service and Product Design at Giving Streets. Welcome.
Hi,
Hello.
everybody. Hope everybody's doing well and good to see you.
The floor is yours.
Elena, you mentioned in the video specifically about regulatory guidelines and how they're always a challenge. However, in any environment, they come with the territory. So one of the things that I was curious to ask you is how do you manage to comply with the ever-changing landscape when it comes to the regulation space? And if you can share with us how specifically the Visa Innovation Program has helped you in that landscape.
Thank you for the question, Todor. Indeed, the regulatory environment, especially the PSD2 European Directive, were our largest pain point in realizing the vision of our idea. So through the Visa Innovation Program and with the support of our excellent mentors, we managed to understand the landscape. We found the way to rescope and pivot our application and thus be relevant to the reality of the Greek market for starters and the European landscape in general. We have also managed to find a partner for establishing our POC in Greece, which will also provide the acquiring services for us and guides us through the regulatory landscape.
Excellent. Thank you for that. And just one quick follow-up question. The solution you provide is quite innovative, and I think it has a lot of application internationally. So can you maybe share with us about your plans for international expansion and what it looked like?
Definitely. Well, the idea originated in London, in the UK. So after what we hope will be a successful launch in POC in Greece, our next target will be the UK market. And in addition, we have established, we have started contacting partners in Canada. There are some NGOs who have been very interested in our solution. So our focus in global expansion will be first UK and Canada, and then who knows, the world.
Excellent. Best of luck. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We had a small technical issue, but such things happen when we have virtual conferences. And let me introduce you to Kostas Chiabanis. He's the CEO and co-founder of Wisely. And in our discussion, will join Mr. Mr. Spiros Armeniakos, Senior Director, Merchant Acquiring and E-Payments, Piraeus Bank. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello there.
How are you? So,
fine, how are you?
Fine. So, Kostas, what would be, the most interesting use case you would suggest to a bank, such as ours? And
well, I would say that yes.
Oh, please.
Yes, I would say that at the moment there is a lot of data that is not taking advantage of the new PSD2, let's say, format, and from the insights that you can actually derive from this, including risk insights, insights that come out from income verification, like profiling of your customers, better targeted marketing, and the fact that now the banks, we know that this is happening. The banks at the moment are collecting information, PSD2 information from other banks, in the sense of, in the context of account aggregation. So for the first time, they have data that never had before. And we believe that the insights that we provide, and we have verified this talking to almost all the banks at the moment in Greece, is that this is the most precious information from them is data insights that they've never seen before. So I think this is the most valuable thing for a bank at the moment.
But that doesn't the customer need to give consent for us to use this kind of data?
It's yes or no, because at the moment we can do this with existing data. I mean, as I said, already all web bankings of all banks are incorporating other banks, so they are already they have already PSD data on possession, so we can do this. But of course, let's say if we want to have a true digital onboarding experience, where, for example, someone applies for a card and we don't want to break this process in 2 steps in order for the user to provide documents like tax clearance documents or payslips. In this scenario, in this use case, yes, you have to give your consent. But by doing this, you gain a lot of stuff. You gain, you don't have to provide these documents. You don't have to go acquire them, come back, provide, and you can do it right there. You can get an answer of your application right there. So the fact that you don't have to break this process makes it a true digital process.
Correct.
So yes, it requires her consent, user's consent, but the benefits, as we see it, are more important than the fact that the user will have to share their financial information.
Thank you, clear. Thank you, Kostas. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And let's go to Evangelos Rosetos, CEO of Simply, and Yorgos Mousmoulas, partner at Metavalon. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon.
How are you? I have sort of 2 halves of a question. The first is, can you just give us an update on your progress in the past 2 years? I think it's been 2 years since we last met, if I remember correctly, November 2018. In particular, in your target market, if it is still your target matter in Britain, if I remember correctly.
Yes, exactly, George. Thank you for your questions. To date, we are serving 1,500 customers in Greece and the United Kingdom. The company has been grown 100% organically from the revenues of our services and from funding through the founding team. And so we have to talk about an 100% organic growth plan that enabled us and allowed us to not bias from our initial scope. And now our target retail stores include all the apparel industry, the food and beverage industry, the retail industry, and for sure our initial core industry, which was the generic retail and grocery.
Okay, great. This is great news. Congratulations. Can you just for a minute elaborate on the partnerships you mentioned you were able to strike through the visa program?
Actually, our participation to the Visa Innovation Program was a very nice opportunity that enabled us to meet the right person at the right persons from the right organizations and institutions like the Visa partners at the right time. And we have already signed the contract and deployed the live solution with of one of the most major banks in Greece, and we have integrated our app. We have integrated their payment offering into our application for cashless checkouts and a much more improved retail experience that our customers will be able to offer to their end retail customers.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, George. I will be more than glad to continue our discussion in the future.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And in our company are also Mr. Christos Tiniozou, Director, iSpinal, and Alkiviadis Trigas, Digital Transformation Division, National Bank of Greece. Welcome.
Hi, pleasure to be here. Hi, Chris. How are you? Hi, nice meeting you. I would like to congratulate all the teams, first of all, for their participation and their presentations. They're all great, and I hope their participation in the program will be leveraged and help them to expand in Greece and abroad. So, for you, Chris, I know that you have a mature product because I have seen it. I know that you have some clients even in Greece, some of them. Obviously, as a new RegTech, you would you are targeting new business and new companies, financial institutions, e-payment institutions, e-money, etc. Explain to us why your solution over all the platforms or the solutions that are out there, established payment solutions. You have shown some slides in your presentation, but it was very brief. So explain to us.
Okay, I mean, what we bring into place and what we bring into the picture is a unified solution. I mean, a solution that covers the client remote onboarding technologies, including digital identification, identity resolution, liveness detection, as well as technologies that help you onboard the client and accept the clients within a single platform, a client lifecycle management solution, as we call it. So we can streamline the day-to-day complex compliance operations. And this is what is needed right now. So what we bring into place compared to other competitors is that we have everything into a single integrated solution, including digital onboarding, KYC, AML screening, transaction monitoring, transaction screening, that includes also machine learning models to detect any type of additional fraud or abnormalities within the transactional behavior of the client. So
pricing policy, is it compatible to other?
I think that is another factor that differentiates us, Alki, from others, is that I mean, you see the big players charging a $250,000 or €1 million per year. So definitely the pricing is a big factor for small to medium companies, and we're much more attractive on that sense as well.
Okay, and the last one, is your solution compatible with Bank of Greece AML regulation? And if someone has signed a contract with you, is this considered outsourcing, and thus it's under the outsourcing framework of Bank of Greece? How it works?
I mean, our solution is not, I mean, the bank at the end of the day is not outsourcing our compliance services. They are just getting our compliance engine. From there,
okay, so it's a software as a service.
It's a software as a service. They should be using it with their own compliance team. And then, I mean, the other point that you have said, if we comply with the directives of the Bank of the Central Bank of Greece. Yes, I mean we consider that we include the video identification as well, which is one of the points needed for the client remote onboarding, as well as the liveness detection selfie. That is another way of identifying the clients through identity proofing.
Okay, thank you, Chris. We will be in touch.
Thank you as well, Marcy. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you both. I welcome on our virtual stage Victor Trokoudes, CEO Plum, and once again Nikolov Todor.
Victor, hi. Good to see you.
Hi. Good to see you too.
So, Plum is kind of in a unique position. You guys just received the 10 million round of funding in July. And with that money, it has opened the door to European expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm trying to figure out is, given the COVID reality and the fact that investors are unsure and very careful about how they invest their money, how have you managed this growth? And where do you see additional opportunities for growth for Plum coming from?
Yeah, so there's a tiny bit of a delay. So do you mind just re-saying the question? So I heard like we raised 10 million and during COVID. Sorry, it was cutting out for some reason.
Sure, no worries. So what I asked is, you have managed to raise the 10 million round in the latest round of funding, yes? And that has given you the opportunity and prospect to expand into the EU. Now, given the COVID situation where investors are very, how do I say, apprehensive about the investments they make, how have you achieved this funding? How have you managed to secure it? And where do you see the future growth for Plum coming from?
Yeah, great. I mean, I think to a certain degree, like we were lucky, not by design, but because it's a savings product, right? During these times, like during COVID times, it's a very useful tool for users, right? To have something that sits on top of their finances and helps them like better manage it, right? So we have seen like sustained growth during this period, which has allowed us to, I guess, secure that funding. And I guess in a certain degree, it also made like investors more enthusiastic about the prospects that we can give in the future, because this is like kind of an ongoing trend in the world. So we haven't seen like significant fallback from COVID, right? So we're continuing to expand the proposition, I guess, with even more excitement than before, because we think like it's kind of accelerated the need of people to be, more conscious of how they manage their money, save, invest, and reduce their costs. So it's been positive for us.
Excellent. Best of luck in the future endeavors from me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck to both of you. And we close the second cohort with Niklas Palagias, co-founder Quadible, and Yorgos Mousmoulas.
Hi, how are you?
Hello to everyone. I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Listen, could you just give us a little bit of an update on the pilots, on the progress that you've been doing? That's the first part of my question. And the second is, I've noticed, if I'm not mistaken, that you're, after maybe a couple of larger banks in Greece, and the Credit Mutuel pilot that you've been doing since last year, if I remember correctly, you're focusing on smaller regional banks in Greece. What is the rationale behind that?
Yeah, of course. So I can give you a bit about the rationale. I can start with is it okay if I start with the second question and we go to the first?
Sure.
So yeah, through the FinQuest Accelerator and through the Visa Innovation Program, we managed to speak to different banks in Greece, which gave us quite an opportunity there. We considered them, because of our region also presence in Greece, we considered this as a good starting point for the Balkan expansion. So we wanted to start somehow from Greece and then try to expand towards the rest of the Balkans.
So you think that the target customers are going to be Balkan banks, the first target customers, and not Western European or
we have now different opportunities in UK, in Spain, in France. So we're not fully targeted only in Greece, but it's one of the countries that we are trying to expand into. Yes.
Okay, and the progress concretely on the pilots you've been doing?
Yeah, of course. So with the global insurance company, we have completed a successful POC with them. Now we are at the stage where we are designing the wider deployment that we have defined, where we will do an initial demo to the executive board, and this will follow to the, if this goes well, they have committed to purchase our solution. Then for the French banking group that you mentioned there, as I mentioned, we have completed the POC with them. Now they want to test the solution on a particular bank where we developed a certain bridge for the solution for the banking app that they have, where we will do a wider deployment with a larger number of users.
All right, great. Thanks. That's very good to hear. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Many people have worked on this program, on this project. So let's go behind the scenes and see what has happened backstage.
Φώτα, κάμερες, πάμε!
Πήγε τέλεια η μέρα σήμερα.
Σήμερα ήταν μια πολύ σημαντική μέρα, το shooting day.
The shooting was great.
Ωραία εμπειρία.
Μ' αρέσει πολύ αυτή η παραγωγή.
Πολύ ωραία εμπειρία. Πέρασαμε πολύ ωραία. Είχε πλάκα.
Υπέροχα.
Εύχομαι να ξανακάνουμε και άλλα τέτοια.
It seems that we have come to an end.
Yes.
Yorgos, I would like to thank you very much for your
thank you
support
also for,
and your company.
For the moderation and all this encouraging support to our program.
I hope that next year we will not have virtual presence, but that we will be live together. And now it's time for virtual networking. Virtual booths and networking are available. I would like to thank you all for your participation and stay safe, stay calm, and be innovative. Thank you very much.